Good evening, WFA. Mic check, 1, 2. Making sure I come in nice and smooth tonight. How is everybody feeling this evening? I see a lot of folks in the chat here. Shout out to Skills and Jordan Andrews and Guy Clausen, Bill Cherry, Jim Copeland, Justin Reside, Ryder, Ernest, and I think I've hit almost everyone. If I missed you, last minute check-in from Jack P. Welcome everybody. And I'm excited about some power rankings. Season 10. We're almost out of fingers counting the seasons, boys. Or should I say ladies and gentlemen. Looks like the mic is coming in okay. Hope the music's not too loud. Want a little bit of music tonight. We're here to have some fun. So, Leon Thunderman in the house, as well as Ben Jackson. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I'm hoping I don't hurt too many feelings. This is my honest opinion of what we're looking at heading into the preseason, but a lot can happen after preseason. So if you are not as high as you expected to be, show us what you got when the season starts and you'll move your way up quick. So without further ado, let's go ahead and head into this a little bit. I'm going to change some things here on the fly. This first section, there's going to be 3 sections we're going to go over tonight. The first one is a group that I'm going to call Room for Improvement. Let's see. We're going to start with number 25. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Let's move some things around. Okay, I like the way that this is looking here. Room for improvement category. We are starting from the bottom, as we should, to build anticipation. Let's talk about the team that I think wasn't doing number 25. That's wrong. That's on my Excel sheet. It's going to be one less because I am... that's going to throw me off tonight. We only have 24 teams in the WFA, stupid. Okay. In my opinion, the bottom team coming into Season 10 is none other than the New Haven Lancers. Let me go ahead and start off tonight by saying I've looked at several different, what do we call them? I don't know, segments into building the rankings here. We are taking into consideration Season 9's win-loss record. We're also looking at their divisional position, looking at how they performed in the playoffs last season, any staff changes that may or may not affect their performance, and last but not least, I will be reviewing and giving a grade for my opinion of how their roster is coming along prior to the season starting here. But New Haven Lancers, no surprise that we see them at the bottom. They have a lot to prove for Season 10. Scott Stover, new head coach, has his hands full. He's not new to the league, but he's definitely new to a team like New Haven. New Haven went 2-5 last season. They lost in their play-in game in the playoffs. And unfortunately, the grade they are getting for their roster is an F+. This is the only F I've given, and I'm just going to come out and say it. Any team that has 53 million cap remaining isn't doing something right, and maybe there's a strategy that I don't know about, and maybe I'll be proved wrong. But as far as I'm concerned, this is piss poor management of the roster. We have so much room to add to this team. He has so much value in picks for Season 11 that could have been traded to get some draft capital for this past season, or for this upcoming season, to maybe add to this. We have 1, 2, 3 that I'm seeing, regressed players that we are housing for the Lancers. That is, that's not good enough, and that's why you're at the bottom, New Haven. That's where we are with them. Let's go ahead and look at the next team up. Number 23 is the DC Tribe. DC does not currently have an owner. It is owned by the front office staff of the WFA, and I think there was some miscommunication during the draft because we have two quarterbacks that we, as far as I'm concerned, you only need one on the field, but not managed very well right now, and also with a ton, of cap space. Let me go ahead and look here how much cap space DC Tribe has. 40 million. Yeah. Too much room. Too much cushion. Not sure what's going on with DC. Hopefully they can ride out the wave here for season 10, and then we can get ourselves some good ownership, some solid ownership for the Tribe going into the next season. DC Tribe, number 23. Number 22 is going to be the beloved Indiana Lynx. Indiana went 1-6 last season. They played in the Toilet Bowl, and they had an okay offseason. I will say an average offseason. I was not impressed, but I also wasn't distraught about it when I was looking back. I think generic books coming into season 10 is going to help Indiana, but I still need to see a lot. Loving the color scheme change, though, like the orange and black. Nice difference from the royal blue and orange that they were rocking last season. But let's go ahead and look at Indiana's roster real quick. Indiana has all their spots full, only setting on 5 million, so good job using your money. They are still holding on to some regressed players, two that I'm seeing. They have exhausted their picks for season 11. So I hope that this roster gets you where you need to go, because you're going to be stuck with it for a while. Indiana Lynx, number 22. Coming in at number 21 is going to be our first expansion team for season 10. And this, again, I'll say this a lot. This is nothing personal. This is just my opinion based on what I'm seeing. Coming in at number 21 is the New Jersey Mustangs. This is a co-owned team by The Claw, Guy Clausen, and Bill Cherry, both great individuals in the WFA. Bill Cherry with some experience, Guy Clausen with one of the best presence we have in the server. So appreciate both those guys, but I need to see how they do. I can't rank them too high tonight. And honestly, not impressed right now with their roster management. Again, setting on too much cap space. 46 million cap left after all spots are filled. That's just not how you do it. That's too much money. It does not roll over. You got to spend that money, Mustangs. You got to spend the money. Coming into number 20 is going to be another expansion team, the Calgary Crash. Love the logo. Love the owner. Ernest McCrae is a top-tier fella. But again, need to see how he does this season before I rank him any higher. He did a little bit better, in my opinion, with his roster this past off season. I ranked him at a C+, and looking at his roster now, 18 million in cap space left. Hired a great quarterback, picked up a great quarterback in pick 1 with King Jackson, and let me see, no regressed players, so that is good. Honestly, good job this offseason. You kept a couple picks for season 11. It's just me being nitpicky. I like spending all the cap you can because you can't take it with you. So try to spend all of it. But Ernest, looking forward to seeing what you do in season 10. You come in at number 20. Heading into the teens, at number 19 will be a team that we have talked a lot about in the WFA. This is the Jamaica Hummingbirds. Jamaica Hummingbirds with owner Jordan Andrews have been around for quite a while. They finished 2-5 last season, below expectations, in my opinion. However, they did make it to the Sweet 16. Their roster grade for this past offseason is a C-. Let me pull them up and see what I might recommend for them. Have a great progressed quarterback with Chuck Kitt, holding on to Jim Harden. They've had him for several seasons. Great running back. Arguably one of the best wide receivers in the league, Cash Moon, but nobody else is there to really support him. They have a few lower grade wide receivers. Would like to see somebody else step up there. It can't all be on Cash Moon. You got to have someone step up to the plate. Let's see. Defensively, the big issue that I'm seeing is the secondary, specifically the safeties. Free safety, strong safety are at silver, which may do okay, but in my opinion, you got to beef that up a little bit. Jamaica coming in at number 19. Hopefully, you'll have a better season in season 10. Okay. Number 19, we are heading to a team that surprised everyone in season 9, specifically the playoffs. Maybe not during the regular season, but during the playoffs, it was nothing but Spooters versus everyone. I'm still thinking I need to get a t-shirt with that on there because what a run, and that's why they are ranked so high despite a 1-6 season. They had a run, and they've had a great hiring and co-ownership this offseason with Ben Jackson. I have high expectations for the Spiders. I think the generic books will be helpful for them going into season 10. Their roster grade is a C+. That's above average, in my opinion. So great job, Spiders. Let's keep it up. Let's get this franchise creeping up the rankings this season. All right. Number 17 is a team that may be a little upset with how low they are. But again, I claim that I really did my research here, and I stick by what I say. The Memphis Steelhogs, they are an expansion team. However, their owner is very seasoned, specifically in the WFA, but maybe not with the generic books. And I am certainly not blown away by his roster at this point. And I have spoken with DB as of recent about his roster. He does not seem to mind that he has $45 million cap space in reserve with no moves left to make. He is happy, he's content. I am guessing he is planning on progressing these players. However, I do not see a way that you can make it deep into the playoffs at all with $45 million not being used. So they get a C+ for their roster rating, and they will come in at number 17 on my power rankings. Number 16, we're going to stay down south here, going to go a little bit more south to the Louisiana Steamers. a team that has been hit or miss the last few seasons. It seems they are either really on or they're really off. Last season, they were 2-5, tied for third in their division, and they were also in the toilet bowl against Indiana. Not a great season for them, but they always have the ability to be a top-tier team. But we need to see something from them at the beginning of the season. Their roster is looking good. I give them a B- for how things are shaping up for them. They have done a good job with their cap space. They have just a little over $5 million left. Love their quarterback, TD Hardvingson. It looks like they have put people in places to succeed. Their offense is going to be high powered. They're going to get the pressure there with the defensive line. They have not neglected their linebacking core, but again, it's just me being me with my personal opinion. There's no gold secondary players, and I think that's going to be a problem for them. That's the one thing holding them back. That's why they get a B- for this. Okay. Number 15 in the WFA preseason power rankings belongs to a newly relocated team from Detroit to California, specifically Long Beach. The Rays come in at number 15. Previously, like I said, known as the Detroit Fury, went 3-4, one of the better seasons they've had in their existence, but they did not make it past the play-in game. However, Stefan has hired a wonderful individual as head coach, or president, I think is the correct hiring of Javier, and I think that's going to be a big power move for them. Looking forward to seeing what Long Beach can do, and happy to see them here at number 15. Let me take a quick second to change a few things here. I'm going to rename this segment from Room for Improvement to, let's see, Playoff Contenders. If that's supposed to be an O at the end, let me know. I'm not a very good speller. Okay. We're heading into number 14. The first team I think has a good shot at making the playoffs, depending on how things start off for them, is the Spooky Ghosts, formerly known as the Vegas Venom. Logan was a co-owner for that team and now is in full ownership of the franchise, has relocated them back to Chicago. Logan has been a longtime owner in the WFA, a good virtual friend of mine, with a lot to prove. Logan has experience both with generic books and custom books, so I believe that he will do better than the Ghosts have done in the past. Venom made it to the Elite Eight last season. Let me pull their roster up here. I give him a C average for his roster file. It wasn't great, it wasn't bad, it was average. Again, sitting on too much cap space, $10 million. He's got the love spread around, but nothing that stands out as big players. Just average. Just average. That's why he gets a C. But excited to see the Ghosts back in the WFA. That is number 14. Number 13. Let me double check, make sure I'm on the right track. Yes, number 13. This is going to be the last expansion team. Pretty high up. I know what you're thinking, but nobody has done it better than the Dayton Aviators this offseason. They have made great picks. They've handled free agency very well. They were the winner of the expansion draft, possibly the winner of the season 10 rookie draft. just really showing that they know what they're doing. I don't know what Mac McDaniel is capable of. I've never seen him coach before. I've never seen him own a team before. But time will tell. His roster's looking really good. McDaniel and the Aviators are getting a B grade from me for their roster. Excuse me one second. Sorry guys, got some drainage from the world that we live in here. Mowing grass like 5 days ago. Still dealing with a lot of crap. So, all right. That was number 13, the Dayton Aviators. Heading into the Dirty Dozen, at number 12, another great friend of mine, virtual friend of mine, is Chad Rowland, owner of the Washington Wastelanders. Came in with a lot of hype last season and performed an average season at 3-4, was tied for third in the division, made it to the Sweet 16 in the playoffs. But if Chad puts his mind to it, there's no doubt in anybody's mind he can make playoffs. That's what I expect to see again from him. Gets a C grade from me on his roster. Again, just average. It was okay. Wasn't great. It wasn't bad. But he gets a C, and he's setting with his Wastelanders at number 12. At number 11, now things are getting interesting. Number 11 is a team who I know the owner of very well in real life. Santa Fe Prow and the owner Derek Jinko surprised a lot of folks last season. Almost really made me sweaty in the playoffs. Almost pulled off a big win against Montreal, the Gin Bowl champs of last season, but were knocked out in the Sweet 16. The Santa Fe Prow can play. They're always in the fight, and Derek has done a great job with his roster this past offseason. He gets a B- from me. B- might not sound great, but considering the standards that I have when I'm looking at these, you should be very proud of a B- here. I'm looking specifically, again, just a little too much cap space. You got $10 million in cap sitting there. You got to spend it up. He's going to hold on to Julio Reyes again this season. Again, holding on to running back Nolan Pierce, Rhino Spine, and developing his wide receiver core now with leader Ryan Roosevelt. Offense is going to be stout. On defense, I'm looking to see where I thought he was lacking, and again, it's just a couple nitpicky things. A couple secondary players that I think could be beefed up. Defensive line, I think, could be just a little bit better with the money that you have. But overall, great job this offseason, Santa Fe. Looking to see what you can do in Season 10. Number 10. We're almost into the single digits here. Number 10 is a team that most people might have a little bit higher on their list considering their performance last season, but I'll tell you why I have them pulled down to number 10 here in just a second. This is the Myrtle Beach Stingers, owner Randy Pierce, and Myrtle Beach went 6-1 last season. They were first in their division, made it all the way to the Elite 8, but the issue that I have right now is their off-season performance and the final building of this roster for Season 10. Randy, it just didn't spend any money. $33 million cap left. I just don't understand that. It drives me crazy. Just drives me crazy. So much room to improve several different areas on the roster, but it wasn't done. He does have a few progressed players that I think will do well. Wide receiver Matt Milo, tight end Grandacious. Those folks will continue to get better. Not that I think the Stingers are going to be bad here. Don't hear me saying that. But what I'm saying is they will not be as good as they were last season if they don't spend up that money. You got to spend that money. That's number 10. Okay. Now we're getting into where it really counts. Single digits. Number 9. Coming in at number 9 is another Pierce owner, Nolan Pierce and the Charleston Federals. Charleston went 4-3. They were second in their division last season, were knocked out in the round of Sweet 16. But Nolan is ranked so high because of his final roster. He has done a great job trading. Loved the last minute move up in the draft to get the wide receiver that he wanted. And he just has built himself a roster that I'm finding it difficult to find a weakness in it. So his roster grade is an A-, and that is the Charleston Federals coming in at number 9. Number 8 is another well-known team in the WFA. This is none other than the Des Moines Corn Kings. The Corn Kings had a slightly above average season, going 4-3. They were tied for first in their division with that record. Tough division. Knocked out in the Sweet 16. But again, another great roster being built by Des Moines. What I love most about his roster, let me pull up here so I can get some specifics on the names, is he really went after the primary players, and what I'm looking at right now doesn't have the primary players. It's on another page here, but he's probably I think probably has the most primary players of any of the teams right now, and that is going to end up being a huge advantage in the long run for him with that extra animation and the support that he's going to get from some real life players. Des Moines coming in at number 8. All right. Number 7, a team that a lot of people may not like being this high. But again, I stand by the research and my opinions on this. Coming at number 7, the Jackson Crabs. Jackson went only 3 wins with 4 losses. However, they were first in their division. They have lost an owner, or not an owner, they have lost a coach in Liam Hammer. However, at this point in the game, Noah does not need anybody but himself heading into this with generic books. Noah has previously won a championship in the WFA with generic books. He knows how to do it. He knows what works, and he is building a roster deserving of the A average that I gave him. It's looking good, and if it's any indication of what he's going to be able to do based on previous seasons and his current roster, Jackson Crabs is going to be high on the rankings for a while. That's number 7. At number 6, we have the good old boys of the Pottsville Maroons. Pottsville went 5-2 last season, tied for first in their division, made it all the way to the Elite 8 round before they were knocked off by Montreal. Dave is building one hell of a roster with a lot of progressed players, which is what I think I like the best. That will be a huge advantage. He has one of the strongest offensive lines in the league, which may or may not be a huge game changer. He has 2 defensive linemen progressed. He has 2 linebackers progressed and a secondary player who is progressed. He has spent, he still has 13 million cap. You never know what he might have up his sleeve here with trades. Not sitting on a lot of draft capital, but I've seen him do more with less. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Number 5. Let's go ahead and change this again here from playoff contenders to the top shelf. Top shelf teams. Starting with number 5. Recently, not rebranded, but it might be considered rebranded. New color scheme, new logo. The Green Bay Wolfpack. Owner Jake has been with the league forever and has been oh so close yet oh so far from a Gin Bowl. Last season, going 4-3, tied for first in the division with that record, made it to the Elite 8, and building a very good roster with a roster grade of an A-. He invests very heavily into the pass game. May be lacking in the run game, but he may surprise me. I stand by the idea that to win a Gin Bowl, you have to be able to pass and run. You can't do just one thing. That's what Green Bay has to figure out, and if he gets that, he is going to be a Gin Bowl contender. That's number 5. Coming in at number 4 is a team that has always been hard to play. I hate playing this team because they're so damn good. The Boston Whales. I don't know what it is about the water in Boston, but they know how to play. Jake Blanchard is an absolute beast. Boston went 5-2 last season, tied for first in the division, made it all the way to the Final Four. There is one wrinkle in the plan. Coach Jack P is gone. He's picked up his own team heading into season 10, so skill will be on his own managing Boston. However, he's been doing a good job so far, getting a B+ roster grade from me. And I think the way that Boston develops their playbooks, I feel like generic books may be a benefit to this team. I don't see them going anywhere anytime soon. They will stay in the top 10, I think, all through the season. That's number 4, Boston Whales. Number 3, a team that has made it to the Gin Bowl last season, but to no avail, was the Wyoming Cavalry. Wyoming seemed to be able to do whatever they wanted with whomever they wanted up until they played Montreal. But Chris Dixon is just running out of his mind. Not sure what they're doing with that run game, but I'd like to find out. He was hard to stop. But they are coming in at number 3. Cavalry was 6-1. Like I said, made it to the Gin Bowl. Their roster grade this offseason is a B. I'm going to pull them up, see why specifically I gave them that B. The cap space is looking good. You spent a lot of your money, just a little over $6 million there left. I know why I put them at number 3 and not number 2. Bronze quarterback. You had it last season. You did great, so I can't say a whole lot. But just upgrade your quarterback, man. Just upgrade your quarterback. Jack P's been doing really well for them, though. So, like I said, it's hard for me to really dog them too much. That's number 3. Number 2 of the preseason power rankings is going to go to formerly known Montreal, but now currently known as the Vermont Bull Moose. Owner Jack P stepped into ownership and did not miss a beat with this championship caliber team. Last season, Vermont, previously known as Montreal, went 5-2 with a Gin Bowl championship. Their roster moves right now are looking good. They have a B+. There are a few things that I would do differently, but again, like I said, I'm really diving deep into this, and Montreal was my baby, so there are things that I had in mind that may not necessarily have been what Jack P had in mind, and that's okay. A B+ is still a great grade, and that's why they're coming in at number 2. And if you haven't been paying attention, you're not going to know. But if you have been paying attention, you already know who number 1 is. Number 1 is a guy that just knows what he's doing. We all hate playing him. Mike Coco and the Miami Nightmares. Miami only lost 1 game last season, 6-1. Made it to the Final 4. No roster changes. Mike Coco does it all there. And he has been doing a great job with the roster, getting an A rating. There's not much that I would do different. He is running that cap space down to the bare bones. Finally, a team that spends a lot of their cap space. The guy's got 118,000 left. That's what I'm talking about. I see it in the chat. Coco is somebody's hero. He's my hero too. Mike Coco deserves to be number 1. The Miami Nightmares deserve to be number 1. Somebody needs to take them down, because if they don't, they're out for blood. You know, that's what Sharks do. And they will be heading straight to a Gin Bowl with the trajectory that they are on right now. So that is the rankings. Let's see, the power rankings for season 10. Let me pull up a final graphic here. I'll be posting this in the Discord channel here later. Get rid of that top shelf thing. Guys, thank you for joining me tonight. I hope that this was enjoyable for you. I had a blast. I feel like we've done this rather quickly. Excited to see who's offended, who's excited, who's both. Let us hear it in the Gin chat. Let's get excited for the preseason coming up. We've got a couple great tournaments. We're splitting the league in half. Half will be playing in the Omaha Invitational Tournament. Half will be playing in the Firebird Classic. Rumor has it that the 2 champions of each tournament will be playing each other. Winner gets naming rights for next preseason, so that should be super exciting. Excited to see what season mode and the generic books look like for us. Hang in there as we try to figure it all out. Thank you everybody again for joining in, and thank you for supporting and participating in the WFA. This is Commissioner Colin Pierce signing off for the night.